Hello, my name is Sonia and this is video number 8 in my series The Basics of Crochet, and today we are going to learn how to make a triple or treble crochet. So you can already see that I have a card here and with the abbreviations TR. So if you were reading a pattern and you saw TR, you would know that that stands for triple. Sometimes it's called treble crochet. It is still the same stitch whether it's triple or treble crochet. Sometimes when you are looking at a pattern, they will list stitch abbreviations, and so if you saw TR and it just said treble crochet, you would just know that it's still the same thing as triple. So you wouldn't have to panic and be like, oh, what's a treble? Some patterns don't have stitch abbreviations. They already assume that you know them, so don't always count on that. But you know, some do, and which is helpful. So to get started with the triple or treble crochet, I've already made a swatch of 3 rows of triple crochet, and as you can see, this is a much taller stitch. And here is a single crochet swatch, so you can definitely see the difference between the two. Single crochet is much shorter, triple crochet is definitely a lot taller. So to get started, I am using an I hook or a 5.5 millimeter. Again, if you have a G or an H, a 4 millimeter or 4.25 millimeter or 5 millimeter hook, definitely fine. You want to have your worsted weight yarn in a light color so you can easily see your stitches, and in a solid color. So as always, we're going to start with a chain, so you need to make your slip knot before you get started. Again, not too tight, not too loose, and we are going to chain 13, and we're going to work 10 stitches of triple crochet in 3 rows, but we need to chain 13 first. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So we have our 13 chains here. And to get started, before we insert our hook in any of these chains, we have to do a yarn over twice. So what that means is you're going to yarn over, back to the front once, back to the front again. So you already will have 3 loops on your hook before you even start working in these guys here. So to start a triple crochet stitch, we need to skip the first 4 chains and work in the 5th. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, here's number 5. So again, I just like to use my thumb as a little marker. So we're going to work in this guy right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, number 5. So we're going to insert our hook in number 5, like so, and we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on our hook. So we're going to do a yarn over. We're going to pull these 2 guys off first, like so, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops. We're going to do a yarn over, pull through these 2, yarn over, pull through these 2, yarn over, pull through these 2. Now as you can see, our first skipped 4 chains count as a stitch, and as you'll notice, it's much taller, so these stitches are a lot easier to count. So just do the next one, yarn over twice, and you are going to work in the very next chain right there. So insert your hook, got your 5 loops, yarn over, work off these first 2 guys here. So 4 loops on here. So 2, 2, and 2. So now we have 3. Yarn over twice, pull through those first 2, 2, 2, and 2. So 4, and you're just going to keep going. And as you can see, I'm pretty fast at it, and this stitch does take a little bit more time because there's a lot more yarn overs, a little bit more manipulations, but it can be a fun stitch. And as you can see that the stitches are not as close together. So let's say if you're making a sweater and you don't want it to be see-through, this stitch might not be the most ideal stitch to use. And you'll learn that as you're you know, working more patterns in crochet and working with stitches, that, you know, some stitches are better for other things. But it's good. The reason why I'm teaching all these stitches is because these are the basic stitches. These are like your building blocks. And if you know these stitches, then there's all different variations and you'll be able to do those variations. You won't panic and think, oh, how do I make a single crochet? And you already know. And then you can just get going. So it might seem a little annoying at first because you want to just get into the fun stuff. And here we are on our last chain here. But it's good to do anything well. You want to have a good foundation. And that's what I'm trying to teach you here. So we're going to see there's a big gap there. So we're just going to close that guy up, make it a little bit nicer, and see if we have 10. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we do. And if you turn it a little bit on its side, you can see again, looks like a row of chains on top. And these stitches are really simple to count. I mean, you can just grab them, they're really easy. Now this is row 1, and again, row 1 is going to be our right side. So to start row 2, and our skipped 4 is our first stitch here, we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 to begin row 2. And again, we need to turn our work, so we just flip it over, and we're ready to start row 2. Now again, this counts as our stitch, so we are not going to work in here. So we're going to skip him, we're going to work in this one. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to yarn over twice. And we already have 3 loops. We're going to insert our hook right in there, the second one. Do a yarn over, pull through those 2 guys right there. We're going to do a yarn over, and pull through those 2, yarn over, 2, and 2 to work them off our hook. So now we've completed 1 triple crochet, but we have 2 stitches. So yarn over twice, and just keep going. Yarn over, and just keep yarning over, working off 2 stitches, and now we've got 3. And it's important to work your double yarn over, otherwise you'll end up just working a double crochet stitch, and we're not working double crochet, we are working triple crochet. As you can see, this stitch takes a little bit more time because of the extra yarn overs, and you know, the stitch is taller, but you can still do it pretty quickly once you get going. And again, that takes time, and you might notice, you know, your stitches are maybe not as uniform as you would like. They might be taller, shorter, tighter, looser, and that's quite normal when you're starting out. Again, your tension will come, the evenness of your tension will come as you go along. So again, we have our last stitch here, which is our skipped chain 4. So you can work in the back of the chain, or if you want to turn it and work in the front like we've been doing, you just want to make sure you just get your hook in a loop in the chain. You want to make sure you work that last stitch, otherwise your stitch count will be off, because we want to have 10. So let's see if we have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we do. We have 10 stitches for row 2. So we're going to do one more row for row 3 just to get our practice. So we're going to chain 4, and we're going to flip our work. Now, one thing you might notice as you are crocheting, some people when they crochet more loosely, some crochet more tightly. I tend to be a tighter crocheter. I'm not sure why, it's just my style. That not necessarily is wrong. or right. The key thing is you want to have your stitches to be uniform, so that you want your tension to be even. So whether you find that you are more of a looser crocheter, as long as your end result, your stitches are more even, that's perfectly fine. Same goes if you're a tighter crocheter like myself. As long as my stitches look even, then I'm on the right track. So you might hear that if you go to a stitch club or whatever, you know, about tighter or looser crocheters. That's all that it means, and it doesn't necessarily mean if you're a looser crocheter that you're terrible. You're not. It's just the way that you are. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. So we're going to work row 3. We've chained 4. We've yarned over twice. Now we're going to not skip the first one here and work on the second one there. So insert our hook, yarn over, so pull through that first stitch, those 2 guys. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, 2, 2, and 2. Yarn over, just like so. So yarn over twice. You want to make sure, again, that you yarn over twice for triple crochet, because then you just might end up making a double crochet, and we're not doing that right now. We're doing triple crochet. So we're about halfway down our row here to complete 3 rows. And again, if you want to make more than 3 rows to practice, that's perfectly all right. But we're just going to do 3. So we are almost to the end here. So this will be number 9, and we have to work in that last chain there. And again, we just want to make sure we work in there, so we have the correct number of stitches. All right. So this is row 3 of our triple crochet, and it's pretty simple, as you can see, to count these rows. You know, that's pretty much row 1, row 2, row 3. And we should have 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the triple crochet stitch. Thank you so much for watching.